Hello everybody, I welcome you all to the concluding session of MOOC's Access to Justice course. As we have completed our 15 weeks course, I hope that you all must have been benefited by the learnings which you have gained in the discussion on various chapters, various topics which we had in these 15 weeks. We discussed about the basic concept of access to justice. We initiated our learning from the understanding of the concept of access to justice and what actually justice means. Then we also looked into the historical background of access to justice in India, that how this concept of access to justice evolved in India and took the shape in which we can see this concept of access to justice in India now. In the next week, we discuss about the formal mechanism of access to justice, and we also discuss about the advantages and disadvantages which are associated with this formal access to justice. In the next week, we discuss about the informal mechanism of access to justice, how it was rooted in India, how it evolved, developed with the time, what are the benefits, what are the drawbacks of informal access to justice. With this, and in addition to informal access to justice, we also discussed about informal dispute resolution mechanism, which is also known as alternate dispute resolution mechanism, in which we covered the mechanism of arbitration, conciliation, mediation, negotiation for settlement of dispute. What are the benefits, what are the drawbacks, who can apply to this mechanism, what are the procedure which needs to be followed, what constitute this mechanism was discussed in the week of alternate dispute resolution mechanism discussion. After that, we discussed about the general provision which are there to support the promotion of access to justice in this week, and under the heading of general provision for access to justice, we discussed about constitutional provision, we discussed about provision under other statutes which are there for promoting the rights of justice. We also discussed about the rights which are available in international law for promoting access to justice. With the understanding of basic concept, historical background and the basic law governing the access to justice, we moved ahead to discuss about the special laws which deals with access to justice in India. In this, we discussed about the Legal Services Authorities Act, which is a special statute for promoting access to justice in India and for speedy disposal of cases in India, and for helping the judicial system in reducing the backlog of the cases. In this module, we came to know about the different authorities, different mechanisms which are different from the mechanism and authorities provided under different statute for promoting access to justice in India. We also discussed about the judicial trend. What is the approach of judiciary towards implementation of the provision of Legal Services Authorities Act, and we found that judiciary is quite liberal in interpreting the provision of Legal Services Authorities Act so that the objective with which this act was enacted could actually be accomplished and benefit could actually reach to the people who are failing to avail it just because the reason they don't have financial resources to exercise their right to have equal justice. After that, we took up the theme of amicable settlement of dispute and speedy disposal of cases. Under this, we discussed about the constitutional provision and various other provision provided under Civil Procedure Code, Code of Criminal Procedure, Hindu Marriage Act, which provides for speedy disposal of dispute and the amicable settlement of dispute. After that, we discussed about the writ jurisdiction and the principle of natural justice, which contributes in promoting access to justice. In the revision week, we revised all this concept and did the thorough understanding through revision and self-assessment questions. In the next week, we took up the topic on access to justice in relation to marginalized community, like what are the rights of women in relation to access to justice, what are the special provision, in which we discuss the general provision as well as special statute like Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act. After that, we discuss about the rights of senior citizens, people falling in the category of other backward class, SC, ST, and people who falls in the category of disabled. What are the special rights ensured by the Constitution and other provision so that they could live a life as other people are living. After that, we also looked into the rights of prisoners and the victim. They are the people who sometimes suffer a lot because of their interaction with the criminal justice system in India. So in this segment, we discuss about the rights of prisoners, various schemes, various reformative mechanisms which are adopted for reformation of prisoners. We also discussed about the schemes which are meant for the victim protection in the state of Delhi along with other states for providing safety and security to victims so that they could come forward and have access to justice. In the next week discussion, we discuss about the access to justice and the commercial transactions, in which we discuss about the rights of consumer, rights of labor. We also discuss about the provision which are there for the protection of environment, and what are the authorities like NGT and other tribunals which are there for effective implementation of the rights provided for the environment protection. In the next week, which is the 14th week, we discuss about the role, power and the strength of the society in promoting access to justice. And we also discuss about the power of youth, the power of students, power of the law schools and other colleges in promoting access to justice, how we as a human being, how we as an ordinary person can actually contribute in promoting access to justice, and how can we spread awareness among people and strengthen other people also by making them aware of their rights. In the last week, we did the thorough understanding of the concept which we discussed in the preceding weeks through revision, through self-assessment, through further reading, because this is the week in which we didn't discuss any new topic and we had time of 1 week to discuss all the provision, all the concept which were discussed in the preceding weeks, and we could clarify our doubts. If any student had any doubt, they wrote me feedback, they wrote me their opinion, they wrote me their queries. For me, your feedback, your opinion means a lot, because from your feedback, I improve the content of my course. I give it a shape in which it is more accessible to you. As the name of this course is Access to Justice, I also wish to make this course more accessible to each and every person who is living in India and in this world, because this is a course which is not meant for any particular segment of the community. This is a course which can be enrolled by the law student, by a student of a school, by a student of any other stream, any working class community, or people who are self-employed. Be it any person, this course will be beneficial for him, because this is a course which makes you aware about your rights, and once you are aware of your rights, your day-to-day dealing with the justice system will become more comfortable, you will be more confident, and once you are more confident, once you are aware of your rights, others will also think before violating your rights, and if there is any violation, you are well equipped to stand for your rights and to ask for something which you really deserve. And barriers like financial incapacities, illiteracy will not come in your way in access to justice. So I believe that this course is very beneficial for everybody.